Hey friends, Megan McIntosh here. Welcome to this week's video. I am very excited to talk on this topic because I think it's a bit controversial. And I mean, it maybe not be, but I feel like it is in the online space. And that is, it's kind of like a chicken and egg scenario. Should you do your marketing or should you do your sales first? Brand strategy, how does it work? And I'm going to explain what I recommend to my clients depending on where they're at. So in their business specifically. So if you're there live, say hi, drop a 1 down below in the comments if you're here right now, and drop a 2 down below. If you're watching the replay, you could also do hashtag replay. Right in front of me is my window, and it is absolutely beautiful outside. The snow is covering the trees. It's a bit slushy, like snowy rain, but it is snow, but it's just like coming down all day long. So I just love watching it, and so that's making me happy today. Okay, so I want to talk about whether or not you should learn marketing, sales, brand strategy, like what is it, what to do. And I really am someone that really talks about sales a lot. Now, obviously, I'm a marketing expert. I've been a marketing director at a company before. I know a lot about social media marketing, and I do marketing in my own business. But I've also been a sales manager where I manage a team of sales reps, and I've been in the advertising industry. So I know a lot about brand strategy and how brands go about building their business. And the first thing I believe that is important to note, if you, let's pretend you have your own business, maybe you're a small business owner, maybe you're just a solopreneur. I think it's really, really important to learn sales. Now, it's also important to learn brand strategy, but I don't think you need like all the strategy figured out before you get clients. And I think that there is so many people out there that need to get their logos done, their colors done, their website up and running. They need to have their messaging perfect and all that before they start selling. And maybe if you are a big company and you have multiple offices and you have a lot of money backing you, yeah, maybe you want to get all that sorted out first. But if you're a solopreneur, starting a solopreneur and then going to have a small team, or you don't have a storefront and you're just trying to build a business online, I really recommend starting with learning sales and understanding the importance of sales and networking. Now, social media marketing and marketing, I think of as separate to brand strategy. I think of brand strategy more as the foundational things of your message, your positioning statement, understanding the emotions tied to it, and understanding how is your brand going to come across in the marketplace. And then marketing is really how are you getting those leads through in terms of forward facing, the way you're going about, like where are you marketing, what platforms are you going to be doing, a blog, are you on social media somewhere like Facebook, Instagram, all that kind of stuff. The way sales is different. Sales gives you the ability to get clients without anything else. And this is how I started my business. And this is how I recommend people who don't have a ton of savings. Now, I hope you have some savings, but maybe you don't. And you want to get clients immediately. Or maybe you're feeling your marketing's not working, it's taking time to implement. For instance, maybe you just done a couple of Facebook posts or Instagram posts and you're not getting leads in yet. Sales is a way to get leads in immediately. So I always think of sales being immediate, marketing being like a slow burn of getting clients. Like you will get clients from marketing, right? And a lot of clients come to me from marketing because I have consistent marketing on social media, but it might take you some time and you can't always count on getting out the gate, doing marketing and having clients come to you. I'm going to give you an example. I'll give you plenty of examples of this. But basically, for instance, I will give you an example of, well, my sister has a bakery, okay? They have a bakery and they did work on their brand first because they wanted to have a name of their business and they wanted to have a logo ready. But that was pretty much it. Like, I don't think they really stressed too much about the messaging and that kind of thing, right? They're selling French pastries, right? They didn't have like a I help so-and-so. They're like, we sell French pastries. That's what we do. We sell, like, we have a French baker. That's the messaging, right? Like, they didn't have like a positioning statement. They didn't have all like I help statement. They didn't have like their specific logo. Well, they did have a logo, but that, but they didn't have like fonts and stuff like that, right? Like, I think they had one font with their logo, but then it didn't really matter when their brand strategy went on social media. So yes, they, as a bakery, they had their logo, but what they did before they started marketing is do sales. So, they maybe got a logo, that's it, and maybe a website, right? But even their website, I think, came a little bit after they started getting clients in. And so, like, even just a logo, right? That's like 300, 400, 500 bucks to $1,000 more, depending on who the designer is, right? Like a logo can range from 200 bucks to thousands of dollars. So just imagine you have a logo. You don't even need a logo, right? But I know that they wanted a logo. The next thing they focused on was sales. So they knew their product, they knew what they were selling. They were selling pastries and breads and that kind of thing. And they knew who they were selling it to, right? So they knew the brand strategy of who's my ideal clients. And they still weren't 100% sure who their ideal clients were. They were just like testing the market and thinking, okay, who can we sell to? And then they figured out as they went on their ideal clients versus the ones that they didn't really like working with as much. That took a little bit of time, right? You're not always going to know that right away. And they went about basically pitching themselves, like literally cold calling people, saying, this is what we do, this is what we sell, can we do a demo, can we come in, can we show you our goods, can we this is who we are, and can we come in and give you freebies, like free pastries, like who doesn't want that, right? And so that's literally what they did. They went door to door calling different places like cafes, restaurants, golf courses, hotels, and basically like pitch them their goods to say, do you want to get these? We have a bakery, wholesale bakery, and this is what we sell, right? And they were successful in getting most of their clients that way. Their clients also came from previous connections, okay? So they also were in the industry before. They didn't have their own business, but they were in the industry. And so they knew people. So someone would say, hey, oh, you do this now, awesome, this person needs baked goods, or this person needs bread, right? So that was a huge part of it, is the connections that they had previously really got them some of their first clients as well. And then later on, they focused on social media, but even now they don't have a huge social media presence because most of their clients come through word of mouth, and most of their clients come through the sales that they did, and then referrals from those sales. So that is something that is, I want you to think about, is you don't necessarily need to have a social media platform if you're really good at networking, if you're really good at sales, and you're really good at relationship building, and you have people that know you in your industry. Now, let me take my business. My business is completely different. I do coaching and consulting with business owners, okay? So the way I started my business was very similar to this style of opening up. I didn't have a huge social media presence. Now, I did have Facebook and Instagram, all the places, but I wasn't posting consistently, and I didn't have like a brand look. I didn't have colors. I didn't have a logo. I didn't have a font or any fonts or anything like that. I literally went to my previous connections that I knew, and I said, this is what I do now. Let's get on a call. Right? So my free offer, instead of like free pastries or free bread, was to say, hey, let me get on a call and do like a strategy session for you, or just like, let's do a connection call, like a catch-up call. When I say ketchup, I was thinking like the condiment ketchup. No, it was ketchup, as in let's catch up, and let's catch up, put some ketchup on my hamburger. And so that's literally how I got my first, like, at least 5 clients. I would say was all through word of mouth, all through me being ballsy enough, or courageous enough to go out there and talk to people and network with people and say, this is what I'm doing now, and can I help you? Right now, I also had a background in what I did before. So with my sister's bakery, her husband was a baker, had worked at different companies, different pastry places. So they had a network I also had a network too from my previous background in being a marketing director and sales manager. So I had numerous jobs where I had been at a high level in terms of representing people in the commercial production industry and doing different sales, software sales. So people knew me as someone that knew how to sell, someone that knew how to represent companies, someone that knew how to do marketing. So I had that expertise foundation already. So when I was going out there to pitch what I was doing now, which is basically consulting on the topics I already knew, I already had that expertise built in. So that's why it was easier for me to go out there and sell. If you're just going on social media and you don't have a background in what you do, now I would also say, why are you teaching and selling something that you don't know, but that, hey, maybe you want to try something new, right? But if you do have a background and you're known in what you do, it is going to be easier when you start networking to get clients, 100%. And you also have to feel confident in your skills. So I was very confident in my skill set. I really knew what I was going to be training people on and teaching people and giving consulting in. So it was easy for me to just get on a phone call with someone that was a colleague before, or maybe someone that was in my industry, and I could just pitch them what I'm doing and say, what are you working on? And then move it over to a sales conversation to find out if someone needed sales or marketing help, right? Or coaching. And so I did not get my first clients through marketing. And I do recommend that if you want money fast, you should really learn how to sell. You should really understand the idea of, a lot of it is who you know, a lot of it is networking. And let's say that you run out of leads. Let's say that you are trying this approach and then you run out of referrals and you run out of people that you know. Oftentimes that doesn't happen if you're really good at what you do, and eventually referrals keep coming to you. Like I got a referral the other day from someone, literally word of mouth. Someone knew what I did because I'm vocal about what I do and say this is what I do for a living. Someone else will refer. And when you get a referral, that's a really high level lead, right? It's a hot lead when you get a referral. So getting referrals is something that if you're constantly telling people what you do and you're open to networking and letting people know how good you are and what you do, you will get those referrals. So that's another part of selling is being able to get those referrals from people and networking to get those referrals. Now, I also do recommend getting yourself into marketing, because what marketing can do is, let's say that your leads slow down. Let's say that you're really busy with your work and you don't have time to network as much, right? With COVID, we weren't out there doing face-to-face networking, and maybe you're just sick of getting on Zoom and meeting new people, or maybe you just don't want to be messaging people, or maybe not enough people are messaging you. It is then really important to have a marketing strategy. It's important to be showing up and telling people what you're doing, and showing yourself as a thought leader on social media and any type of marketing network, right? So it could be a blog, it could be a podcast, whatever it is that you choose, right? You really want to figure out your specific marketing strategy for what you do and the amount of time you have available to do that strategy, or to give that strategy to someone else to do. But it is like any time that sometimes that marketing strategy is not working. Sometimes people start seeing posts and the algorithm's not working the way you want it to, or you're feeling like there's so many competition out there that are saying the same thing as you, right? If you're doing that marketing and you're feeling like I'm not getting leads, I feel like I'm saying the right things, or I'm offering, or I'm putting myself out there, and it's a lot to create content. It really is. It takes a lot of brain power to make content. Then I recommend constantly honing in on your sales skills of getting to know people, networking, and being very vocal about what you do, and being able to talk to people about what you do and showing your expertise. And understanding that sales is a skill, right? All these things are skills. Learning how to create your brand, like brand strategy, is a skill, right? That's what people in advertising do. They craft a brand strategy for brands, right? Brands literally go to advertising agencies to help them craft their brand, to help them figure out how can we advertise to get more people to buy our products and services, right? Like they literally get an advertising agency to help them craft their brand, and a brand that has their own company, right? So think about that. And marketing is a skill, right? Learning all the different social media elements, learning all the different tactics and things that you can do that are so different from each other, right? A TikTok post or a Facebook Live video or a Instagram story. Like there's so many different marketing avenues out there, and you really want to think, what is going to be relevant for me? What do I want to be doing? How much time do I have? Should I give this to a virtual assistant or someone to do my social media for me? Like that is a skill, knowing what is strategically working for your business and looking at the goals of your social media, and like taking advantage of looking at your key performance indicators so that you know, hey, this is my objective of doing this social media. Is it just for visibility? Just I want to be on all the platforms, or you do seriously want to get leads from it, right? There could be two different strategies. Maybe you just want to be on the platforms, but you might not get leads if you're not building a community, if you're not really looking at what people are looking for at social media. And sales is a strategy, and sales is a skill, right? There's so many elements of the skills in sales that I teach, right? So how to have a really good phone call, how to have a connection call, how to have a discovery call, right? Or a sales call, like a literal sales call. How to understand your pipeline, how to understand how to move leads through from a cold lead to a sale, right? Learning how to develop solutions for people and asking the right questions, understanding how to overcome objections, understanding pipeline management. Like there's a lot of different skills in sales that you want to learn, and being bold and brave, and to be getting on phone calls with people and learning how to network properly without feeling like weird and gross, right? So I think that I believe that there's not a right or wrong answer to sales, brand strategy, and marketing, what goes first. But I would say that if you want to get money really quickly, then sales is going to help you with that. If you learn sales skills, you will definitely be able to get money quickly, because you're going to be learning skills that you can use for life, right? So I'm not saying marketing and brand strategy skills you can't use for life, but I'm just saying that if you learn how to sell and you learn learn how to take ownership of who you are and your confidence, what that means is that you can call someone and ask, hey, this is what I'm doing. Maybe, a couple of people that can help me, or, it's really, I think of sales as, they say it's like inspiration, breathing life into someone else. It really is, in a sense, sales is confidence. Sales is your ability to show someone why they should like invest in you, and why what you're offering is a solution for them, and doing it in a way where you have your own personality and your spin to it. And so I think that at most businesses that I know that are building really quickly, they build up their sales. They know how to sell. They're not afraid to sell. They're not afraid to go out there and network. They're not afraid to go out there and ask people for money. They're not afraid to go out there and be confident in what they do. Marketing is there is some selling and marketing though too, right? When you're going out there and doing social media like I am right now, right? You're seeing my personality, you're seeing a video. That in a sense is selling, right? I have to know what to say and how to speak. So they do kind of merge together in a sense. They are like brother and sister, or, twins in a sense. They're like very closely related. But at the same time, in a sense, you can be taking a step back with marketing, because you can get someone else to do it. And also with marketing, you can kind of hide behind things. You can hide behind a computer. You can I'm talking in front of my computer. You can hide behind a post, right? And so knowing how to network and making relationships with people is like the number one skill you need to learn in any business, right? And you can hide behind whatever you want and have someone else do your marketing. But if you learn how to be bold and be able to make relationships with people, and just know that it's your confidence and your belief in yourself, as well as the belief in how you can help people, is what's going to help you make a sale. That is what you want to start like owning and start getting good at. So that's all I have to say for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you're interested in doing coaching with me, I would love to work with you. I work on 3 areas of your business, and let me just tell you them. They're your intuition. So I focus on your mindset and your energy in ways so that you can overcome any limiting behaviors and beliefs, so that you can really have the confidence and belief in yourself, as well as your products and your services and your clients, so that you are selling in a way that is, your energy's there, your mindset's there, you're on, right? Like you're in flow, you're on. And so that like that's an intuitive thing, but it takes some skill to learn how to get your mindset on track, how to get your energy right, so that people feel you, right? If I'm just here, just laying back and saying, hey, here, I'm going to talk to you about this, like there's no energy there, there's no excitement. So you really want to know how do I hone in on my energy, how do I hone on my mindset, so I believe in myself and I'm not afraid to come out and present myself and present my services. And so the intuition is really that, going deep and doing that. The next thing is really thinking about your influence. Okay. And so I do that by working on your marketing and your sales strategy. So both of those are going to create influence. I always like adding those together, and also brand strategy too. But really the influence is your ability to get out there and showcase your services, showcase yourself, and showcase your business, and do it in a way that is going to make you visible. It's going to influence other people and persuade people to buy. And the way to do that is to understanding, how do I sell and how do I market online? Those are the things. That's it, right? Like literally, that's it. Like your mindset, energy, how do I sell and market myself online, right? How do I get out there? And that is like it. You don't really need to know much more than that. You need to know how to market and sell and brand strategy, and then you're good to go. If you consistently get out there, if you're consistently meeting new people, you're networking and you're marketing, and you have a strategy that you really believe in and you're excited about, then there's no way you can fail. There's no way, right? And the third element is really your innovation. So I love to be creative, and I think that having a business is, in sense, like having a creative, like a new baby, right? They say like having a business is like having a baby. Although I don't know, I don't 100% know if that's true. I've never had a baby, but I would say that I'm sure that people that have a baby are like, absolutely not. I have a baby and it's not like having a business, kind of, but not really. So, but I want you to think about your innovation as being one of the most important elements that you constantly hone every single day. And I come from a creative background. I'm also a writer and a filmmaker. And I also come from the 15 years in the advertising and entertainment commercial production industry, where everybody I was around was making TV commercials and films. And there's that ability to believe in yourself, to believe in what your creative input is, and your thought leadership, and your ideas, knowing your ideas matter, and knowing how to believe in your ideas. And it is something that a lot of us don't think about. We don't think about the amount of innovation and creativity it takes to come up with new ideas and stand by those ideas and believe in those ideas and follow through with those ideas. Because a lot of us, if you're creative, it's, execution isn't always the easiest thing, right? So I really help you work on your innovation and help you really get creative, so that your thought leadership is at the forefront of your brand, so that you really believe in what you're saying, and so that you own it. You own a place in the market, and you love it, and you feel good about it, and you feel that, even though there's 100 people or 200 people or 1,000 people doing the same thing as you, you're different because you believe in it, you know it, and you're showcasing how you're different to other people. And that can be so many different ways, in the way you innovate in your business, but also the way how you explain your services, how you explain what you do, right? And explain why you're different and why your background is going to make their lives better. Like when I coach with people, I have so many different areas of my skill set that I bring to the table, right? So I have that advertising background, that journalism background, and that creative background, and that creative brain, but also the marketing and sales, and my years in corporate. So I bring that to the table. I'm like, I don't just shove it down and not explain it, and I show the areas that I can help them with, and what I'm really special in, like a specialty in. I mean, what I'm special in, you know what I mean, expert in. And my quirkiness, obviously, because I'm a bit quirky. But I want you to think about that. I want you to think about those 3 areas in your business: your intuition, which encompasses your mindset, your energy, the embodiment, your influence, your marketing, your sales, your brand strategy, and your innovation, which is your thought leadership, your creativity, your ability to believe in your ideas, your ability to come up with new ideas, your ability to own things, to, really understand what you're doing and showcase how you're different, but also how you can help people, and just be simple. Like, this is how I can help you. This is what I do differently. This is why my program is going to work over this program. This is how we do it differently. I have systems in place, or I do that. So if you're interested in working with me, I would absolutely love to. You can just send me a message and I will get back to you, and then we can jump on a call, and the call will always be filled with really cool information, kind of like a strategy call, but not really. It's a way to kind of like a strategy call, but not really. That made sense, right? No, I'm just kidding. It's really basically a call where I get to know you and your business, and you get to know me, and then we can figure out if we're the right fit, right? I don't like to say discovery call, because you're probably discovered me already if you've been watching my content and understanding what I do, but really understanding, how can I help you, right? What you're doing, what you have going on right now, can I help you? And that call is a way to figure out, can I help you? And would you like me to help you? Can I help you? I feel like I'm Jerry Maguire. I help you. You know that scene where he's like, I don't even remember the scene. You help me, I help you. You know what scene I'm talking about. I'm gonna go and Google it or YouTube it right after this. But thank you so much. Send me a message and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.